Welcome to Driving Dragon Radio. I'm your host, Emma Oostruck. I'm here with special guest and author, Drea Wills. Welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Now, you have a lot of books out, and I see on your Amazon page they call you the queen of crazy.
Yes.
So, which book started this whirlwind of books?
Well, it all basically started with Chosen, which is the OS and Witches series. It started January of last year. I've only been doing this for a short period of time. So
Really?
yeah, I've only been doing this for a short period of time. I wrote 4 books last year. Chosen came out in April 23rd, 2021. And that's how it all began. It just all started with the story, which was kind of loosely based on a family story that my parents and my grandparents used to tell us. And I just spin the story and just created a whole world from that.
Girl,
So
you've been busy.
I've been really busy. It's been really crazy. It's a bit crazier now that I'm in the new year and have a whole new writing plan and a whole new series that I've just started. So yeah, it's been a lot going on. Woo, it's been a
Well,
bit
now
crazy.
that we know where the crazy come from, I mean, seriously, being an author, you're crazy to begin with. So,
Yes.
how many books published just last year or 2020 to last year? Is
Four. And I have one coming out on Monday. I know. Crazy. See, it's perfect. Perfect name for me.
it's a
Uh,
perfect. I mean, that's what we do. But let's go into your trilogy a little bit or your books. What is the storyline? Let's put it that
ba-
way.
Basically, it was a family of witches who, to save their land,
Mhm.
they make a deal with the devil. Well, the matriarch makes a deal with the devil. And the devil basically decides that he's going to take one of the many daughters. It didn't matter when. He didn't say when. He just
Mhm.
said, I'll be watching. I'll
Mhm.
take somebody when I want to. So basically, their family kind of adapted and shifted, and between like 100 year span,
Mhm.
they adapted, and so they had shifters who basically the witches. Some witches were born as shifters so that they can protect the elemental witches in the family, and they paired them together so that one could protect the other. And eventually, long into the future, the book opens where he finally decides, I want this one. I want her.
Mhm.
And you think at first that she's just insignificant. She's not really powerful, but because her magic's all wonky and it's not working for her, it's never really worked for her. And her mom and the family was all about the stronger witches. And so she kind of gotten pushed into normality in a sense. And so he basically came knocking on her door, and a lot of stuff goes down, and then you find out that
She's
she's
the
like
most
she's
powerful of
most
all.
powerful one. And all kinds of crazy mayhem happens, and we have some betrayals in there mixed in with another family member, and things happen, and at the end of the book she ends up being taken to hell, taken down to the underworld. Basically,
Okay,
he
yeah.
gets he gets her by way of tricking another family member to do it. But it's intense, and then the story goes on, and you
Yeah.
follow through. The second book kind of goes on. It kind of goes into the cousin who did the betrayal, and you find out that she did it because she's pregnant with this super hybrid mythical baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it gets crazy. So it's almost justifiable why she did what she did. And so then it goes into, and then her story plays out. More betrayal, more things happen. It's crazy. It's a whirlwind of a story. And then you go into book 3, where you actually go back to the main character, and she's been in the underworld. Well, she thinks she's been there for 2, 3 years, where in the reality, in our world, she's only been there for a couple of months. And so she's created this whole different life for herself, and she's avoiding the devil like mad. And She's trapped in a castle. Her magic's bound. She can't do anything. She's trapped basically
Mhm.
until all of us until things happen. I don't want to give too much away. Things
So things
happen,
happen.
and it's revealed. She ends up breaking her bonds, and Lilith comes into play, and like they get the devil back, and they trap him down in the underworld, and then she's back on Earth, and she's fighting a good fight. Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
Well, second you had witches, shaper, that people, and I can't
Mhm.
talk. I don't know why. Then you add in mythical babies, so you have a whole myth being born.
Yeah,
here.
we have the archangels in the book. We have shifters of the witches that shift into spirit animals. We have actual real shifters, wolves,
Mhm.
especially in the second book, wolves into play, and other shifting animals. We have demons. You meet demons. The main character ends up marrying a demon, and in the end, and it's a lot. It's the supernatural. I call it supernatural salad of goodness.
It sounds like it. I mean, what else can you throw in there? And of course, you somewhere along the line, you have to have a human person or a human element.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you have everything in there, all
Yep.
mixed up in a new, fun, crazy series.
Yes. It's so funny because the men in the family are regular human men. Their own, because basically a part of the curse, which I don't want to really give away, but I'll give it away. The part of the curse is that he stops the women from having male babies, so that he has plenty of choice.
Yep.
And so basically they don't have any men in the family in any way, form, or fashion. So basically men have to basically marry a normal human man. And when he's married into the family, that's how he knows about the curse. He knows what happens and all of that. And the men are actually the ones who have to step back and let the women fight the battles and everything, which I thought, yes, so yeah. I'm all, girl power over here. Most of my books are like that in general. So
we need the girl power to raise up a little bit. We don't always need the men to come to our rescue.
Yes. There are a lot of books where, the woman needs to be the damsel in distress. I'm not really, my characters are never really damsels. They might be weak for a few little moments, but I think they tend to fight their way back up, and so it's a whirlwind of a story. It's a big story. And I wrote a standalone of kind of when the series finished. I ended the last book with a little bit of nugget so that I could go into a standalone, which involves her sister. And she basically gets kidnapped by vampires. So yeah, it is I wanted to just, my first series, I said, you know what, if I'm going to go all out, I'm going to go all out, and I'm going to just mix them all together in one big world instead of just fixing on a certain trope like just wolves or just vampires. Mm-hmm. I decided to just say, you know what, I'm going to create a whole world, and you're going to know how they all work and stack together in this completely different world. So yeah, it was really fun to write. It was a bit crazy. I felt a bit crazy because I was just churning out books, and I was like, I'm losing my mind here. But it was completely worth it. It's completely worth it. It was a really good journey because I didn't know. I thought I was just going to write one book. Mm-hmm. I thought I was just going to write one. But I think everybody thinks if I can just write one book, I'll be fine. I'll get it out of my system.
You write the one, then you get the writing bug. Once you get the writing bug, you don't stop. Now you have 4 going on 5.
Yep.
And what is the next one coming?
I just finished my 6th book. I know. It's now this is all dragons. Okay. I'm a big dragon fan. I love dragon shifters. And this is the Queen of Arcadia series. And I just finished book 1. And it's actually with the ARC readers at the moment. So I'm like, nervous. But basically comes out next month. I'm literally turning out a book a month at the moment, which is a bit crazy because I've had to actually slow down in the last couple of days and just go, okay, now we're going to take a break. Now we have to breathe. And we'll get our ideas together so we can start on our next series of things that we want to do. So it's the Queen of Arcadia series. It's about dragon shifters. It's kind of fated mates, different realms. Again, I love world building. So I love to create different worlds, completely different from what I've done before. And so I've basically built a whole new world. There's fae, there's druids, there are mages. So I still mix it up a bit, but I've totally turned it into a whole nother, gone to the other side of the thing. So it's more fantasy based and everything.
Now, who is publishing you?
I self-publish myself at the moment.
Girl, you're turning out a book a month. Why are you not with a publisher?
Well, you know what, to be honest, I guess I could consider myself a baby author at the moment, because I've churned out so many books. And so that part of the business I'm still learning about, and I think, and it's not just me, it's a lot of different, I consider myself a baby author because I've only been writing for a year. And it's a lot of authors like me who don't know where to go, who to approach, and how do you present your books. And so it's one of those things that I'm like, okay, eventually I'm gonna slow down and I'm gonna present my books to someone, because I'm churning out books like crazy. But then there's a part of me is like, well, I kind of want to control what I do, what I write, how I write. And so it's just one of those things where I'm kind of battling with myself back and forth. So eventually, I guess I will try to find a publisher and see what happens, because I'm churning them out.
So obviously I need to have a class one day of how to approach or publishers.
Yes, I would probably be right there with a pen and paper. I would probably be right there with a pen and paper ready for that lesson. And I probably wouldn't be the only one. So it's a lot of us who just, I think we're a bit gun shy because you don't really know where to begin. I think, yeah, it's just that idea of you don't really know where to begin or who to approach and how to approach them. What do you need to, present to them, that kind of thing. So yeah, I would definitely sign up.
We'll talk after the show, because as a publisher, I'm always looking at where do I get new authors. You're in this part of I'm an author, but I don't know how to approach publishers, and the two may not mix. You may be a wonderful author and you may be a wonderful publisher, but the two paths may not be
right.
Right. You can't take it personal, but at the same time, you're telling me something that, okay, I need to have a class now.
Right. No, seriously. I think a friend of mine, he introduced me to a book publicist. Mm-hmm. And I talked to her, and I think she was more of a YA, young adult. Mm-hmm. And I was like, as much as I love a lot of young adult books, that's just not me. And so she's like, oh, but if you wrote young adult, if you did this, I was like, but I'm not a young adult writer. I'm so sorry. And so she was trying to give me advice, but it was advice for a young adult author, someone who wrote young adult books. And I'm like, that's a whole nother world. Right. And it really feels like a whole nother world.
It is. Every genre, every age group is a different beast. You do not have a one size fits all.
Yeah. Because I told my husband, he reads a lot of horror, and he's like, oh, well, you should do this. And I said, but horror authors are a whole nother beast. And I said, they do things completely different. I said, romance is like a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. It's just this huge expanse of tropes and crazy. And I'm like, let me just stay where I am. Because I decided to introduce my an alter ego of myself, and so I have a second pen name. You're just gonna think I'm crazy. I am crazy. I know I am, but I love it. I love the thrill of writing. Mm-hmm. I love just to be able to just create stories. So I'm really excited about it. And I think it's because I've spent my career in the arts in general, and so it's just been an outlet and a shift in my brain to be creative. And so I'm going to start contemporary and dark romance soon. And so I'm literally writing 2 books at a time at the moment. I know.
Oh, that's fine. I'm writing 3. So you're good.
I'm laughing because everybody's like, oh, girl, I'm working on 4. It's okay. I'm like, okay, good. I'm not losing my mind. I'm writing 2 books at once at the moment so that I can keep up with my schedule. But yeah, I'm going to introduce my first contemporary romance in April. So it'll be like a year anniversary of my first book with a completely different genre, and so it's a shift in romance. And so with my dragon books going on at the same time. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I've got a lot going on.
Wait until your characters start talking to you and you forget which book they're in, so they cross over.
I have to keep my notes in check, because in my mind, I would be talking for one character. And I'm like, no, back up. I'm like, no, you're based in reality. This is paranormal. No. So I have to divide that line between the two so that I know what I'm doing. Because I was like, I told a friend of mine, I was like, I don't know how you writing 3 and 4 whips at a time, because I would just lose it. My brain just can't split up that many times.
Okay, so we have, with me personally as an author, I have one that's 2 series overlap each other. Okay, then I have a nonfiction book, and then I have my magazine articles.
Oh my gosh. That is a lot.
So that's my every month.
Oh my gosh. Okay, see, I thought I was a bit crazy writing 2 books. Okay, no, I'm not. No,
you are normal. In the world of author, you are normal.
Okay. And I'm like, I thought I was a lot of friends of mine like, oh, you're moving so fast. I feel like I take forever to write. I'm like, no, you're writing 150,000 word books. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm probably skimming half of that because I'm producing them so much faster. I can split my books in half. And I do it that way. And I still end up with the same word count. I said, but that helps me so that I can shift between books. It works for me. Yeah. Everybody has their system. So yeah, life is completely taken it's completely different in my life at the moment.
Yeah, so you're working on novellas, anything under 50,000 words, where a author that's doing 50,000 to 100,000 takes a year to write the book. You're writing them every month.
Yeah, my books tend to be about between 60,000, 74,000 words. So, if I write a novella, it's about almost 40,000. So I do, yeah. So I have novels and then I have novellas. It depends on what I'm doing. Like my book that's coming out on Monday is a novella, and it's a part of a series. All of these authors came together under a shop series, actually. And each one of us picked a day where we release our books under that theme. Okay. And this book is the Sandwich Shop series. And my sandwich was a croque monsieur. And so I called my book Mr. Crunch, which is basically the English translation. And I thought it was clever. It was clever at the time when I thought about it. And so this is a necromancer story, and it's dark and it's gritty and it's paranormal romance. And it's like, I love the story so much, and it's crazy. And I'm excited about it releasing on Monday. So I've got a lot going on.
You do have a lot going on, but you can't, as an author, you can't say, okay, this author here is who I'm working with or working to be as good as. This is how they do things. How do they? You have to find your voice, your system, what works for you as an author. What works for you is turning out a book a month.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. I'll probably be taking a break in March so that I can actually write. And then April, I'll be releasing another one, and probably in June and July. And then I'd probably take another break and then catch up with myself and then release some more. And so, yeah, I'm a part of an anthology coming out in October. So I'm like, ooh, yeah, it's a lot going on.
When do you have time not to write?
I don't know. I don't know how, considering I work in theater. I'm a costume supervisor. So in between me not writing, I'm working on shows, and I'm working with students and all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't even know how I have time to write, but I usually write really late at night and once my son's gone to bed. And yeah, I'm like a zombie half the time, but it's okay. My brain still functions.
Yeah, as long as your brain's functioning and you're a functioning zombie, we're good, right?
Yeah, I'm good. As long as I can have some coffee, I'm all right. I'll just keep writing and I'll be okay. Yeah. I understand that. I understand that more than anything. It's like, as long as my brain and my fingers work, I'm okay. I can do this.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like, I'll be dead tired, can't do a moving a muscle. My fingers work and my brain works. I'm doing something. When my fingers stop working, we have a problem.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. When the fingers start to act up, I was like, oh, I'm getting old.
Actually, I just got these wonderful gloves that are great for authors. They're called Hippobaric gloves.
Yes, everybody's been talking about those.
Yeah, I got those. They are wonderful. That helps with the arthritis and the swelling.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get
increases
some.
in my typing. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yep. All right. I'm sold. Everybody kept talking about it. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some. Definitely gonna get some.
They come in 2 packs and the one size fits all. So it doesn't look, it's not like you have to buy a certain size or anything, but increases my productivity because I'm not hurting in my fingers.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right. I'm sold. I'm totally sold. Definitely gonna get a pair.
Yeah. They're awesome for authors, for anyone that's at a keyboard for 16 hours a day, like I am. They are wonderful. If you
Oh, good.
Yes. I didn't think I would like them. My daughter has stolen them now for me, so I have to get another. But yeah, it's a little trick of the trade. When you're an author, you find what works for other authors.
Yeah.
If it's a different keyboard, if it's a different mouse, if it's a different program, we share these tips and we flourish together.
Yes, definitely.
But we are almost out of time. So where can our listeners and our viewers find you?
I am all Amazon. So you can find all my books on Amazon. I haven't branched out further afield just yet. Again, you can probably teach me another class about that. And so, yeah, I'm on Amazon. You can find all my books at Drea Wells, Amazon, my author page. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. Yes, I am a TikToker. And you can find me on Instagram as well. You can find me on Twitter. Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere.
That is awesome. As an author, you need to be everywhere with social media, because that's just how we find you until you get an author page or a publisher.
Yes.
But it was so wonderful talking to you today.
Thank you for having me. So excited.
In the world of crazy that you're creating, which is awesome. And for all of our viewers and our listeners, happy reading.